Today, our topic of discussion is search mechanism in AI. And we are going to do one algorithm that is known as A star algorithm in artificial intelligence. But I'm just telling you one thing. If I start explaining the algorithm and the mechanism, then it will be very difficult for you to understand. So, what I will do, I will solve one mathematical problem. It is not a mathematical problem really, it is a game. So we will play that game in terms of mathematical problem, and at the end of that game we will able to understand what is this A star search algorithm, what is the searching mechanism, and how many different terms are associated with this searching algorithms in AI. So let's start the class. So now if you ask me this question, that is why we need searching, means why the concept of searching is important. So I'm just telling you one point, that is, see, whenever we are talking about artificial intelligence, we know that this artificial intelligence is a process of making machines smart. So, whenever we want to make our machine smart, we have to implement the concept of AI in it, right? And we know that implementing AI inside the machine means nowadays we are using machine learning algorithms by which our machine will actually learn something, right? Without any human supervision, it can learn something by its own. So now how this searching is significant. See, nowadays artificial intelligence is very much useful across different commercial applications. See, we have AI in our smartphones, we have AI in the self-driving cars. So here the most important part is it is very critical for a search engine to function properly without an AI mechanism. And this concept is very much difficult because, see, whatever we are searching today, we are searching a very much complex things. So, with this tens of thousands of search happening every second, AI is needed to understand the queries, rank results, filtering the content, scaling some real life activity. Everywhere the searching is needed. So that's why we have to learn the searching mechanism. So now here, from where should we start? See, here according to the rule, we have to start from the very basic concept of searching. But I will give you a very simplistic idea about searching. So if you ask me this question, that what is the definition of search? So I will give you one idea. See, searching in AI is a process. Means process of what? It's a process of navigating, or you can say that it's a navigation process. So we can say that search in AI is the process of navigating from starting state to some goal state. Say this is the starting state and say this is the goal state. And why searching is required? From starting state to goal state, this entire navigation is possible through the searching. And this navigation is possible by transition through this intermediate nodes, right? So, the concept of searching means navigating through intermediate nodes from starting state to the goal state. So that's why we have some associated term with it, that is the starting state, intermediate state, goal state. So these are the terms which are associated with searching. But we have some more difficult term associated with it. So in order to know each and every term, I will start from one example of A star algorithm without knowing what is this A star algorithm is all about. So if I start from this example, it will be very easy for you to understand or to comprehend what we are going to learn. So let's start from this example. So, what is our topic of discussion? Our topic of discussion is searching mechanism in AI, or what are the different searching algorithms exist for AI and what we can do with this searching algorithms. So now the most important thing that I'm going to tell you that the searching algorithms can be used anywhere. It can be used for finding shortest path. It can be used for playing games. So it has diversified applications. So now today I'm going to show you one beautiful application, and the name of this application is 8 puzzle problem. So what is this 8 puzzle problem? In childhood, I don't know whether your generation have played it or not, but we have played this concept. That is, what is this 8 puzzle problem? We have one board. Say this is the board. And on this board, we have some number written like this. And this board will not be arranged, right? So in that board, we have one initial state. Initial state means the current configuration of the board. And we have one blank space in the board. So what is the game? So from the initial state of the board, we have to move all these tiles in such a way so that we could reach the goal state. Goal state means the expected final configuration of the board like this. So now try to understand what we are doing today. We are expecting that our machine could play this game. So if machine is playing this game means we are expecting that this initial state will be given and our machine will find out some mechanism by which this goal state will be reached. Because what is AI? I have explained. AI is something about mimicking the human thought process. So whenever this board is given to us, human brain will think what are the alternative options of moving these tiles, and then we will move all those tiles in a different combination and we will reach the goal. So now the entire task that we can do, we are expecting that our AI machine can do. But try to understand, human brain has inbuilt capability of thinking, but AI machine do not have. So what you have to do? So in that case, you have to remember one point. This is the machine. If you expect that your machine should play this game, so inside this machine, you have to feed some searching mechanism. And now try to understand how to feed some mechanism in the machine. The rule is you have to feed some algorithm. So whatever mechanism you want to feed into the machine, you have to feed some algorithm in the machine. So today I'm just telling you that in order to play this 8 puzzle game by the machine, we have to feed a star algorithm inside the machine. Means if my machine is having a star algorithm, then we can say that it could reach from initial state to goal state. So now I will elaborate the process in details, and by elaborating this process I will tell you what is this A star algorithm and what is this searching mechanism, right? Now pay attention to this process. So whatever I have defined so far, we do not have any knowledge about searching and we do not have any knowledge about A star algorithm. So we only know the concept that we have one initial state and by some mechanism we have to reach to this goal state. So this is our problem and this is our goal. This thing we know. But additionally, I will give you one formula. What is that formula? So I will write one formula, that is Fn equal to Gn plus Hn. Now you will think that what is this formula is all about. See, for the time being, think that this formula is needed to reach from initial state to goal state. Now, let me tell you what is this Gn and Hn. See, this Gn and Hn has its own term, but for the time being, think that this Gn is depth of node and Hn means number of misplaced tiles. Now again it is very difficult to understand. So let me play the game by different steps, then you will be able to understand. See, this is our initial state, right? In the initial state, what we have? 2, 8, 3, 1, 6, 4, 7, 5. So you have to remember one point, whatever problem description is given to you as an initial state, it will be the root node of the search tree. So that's why it is a root node. Now the second step is our ultimate aim is to reach the goal. Now the second question is, once the root node is identified, then you have to find how many branches are possible. Branches means this one. How many possible branches are there? See here, what we have to do? We have to move these tiles. So how many possible movements are there? I can put this 6 downwards. I can put this 7 in the right hand side and I can put this 5 in the left hand side. So basically we have 3 possible moves. So that's why we should have 3 branches. And in each of the branches we will move any one tile. So we will get this kind of configuration. Right? So in this case we have 3 branches. Now consider the first situation. See, what is the first situation? Say here I am moving 7 from here to the right hand side. So then what will be the configuration? 2, 8, 3, 1, 6, 4. 7 is moved from left to right. So here we will have 7 and then here we will have 5. Everything will be same but 7 will be shifted. Similarly, for the second case, say I am moving 6 from this position to the downward position. So what will be the configuration? 2, 8, 3, 1, 4, 6, 7, 5. And now what is the other option we have? The other option is I can move 5 from right side to left side. So it will be 2, 8, 3, 1, 6, 4, 7, 5, right? So this is how this searching tree will expand, right? So identify the root, then identify the number of branches and then try to expand the tree. Now, since we are using this searching algorithm as A star algorithm, so at the beginning of this problem solution, I have explained that it will follow this mechanism. Now I will tell you what is this mechanism is all about. Means in each and every step I have to evaluate this function. Means this function will help me to guide towards the goal from the initial state. Means you can ask me this question that why this function is important. So this function is the guiding function from root to the goal state. So here our responsibility is in each step we will calculate this function. So now start. So this is the initial state. So in initial state we have to calculate this function first. So how we can evaluate this? So here the first question is what should be the value of Gn and what should be the value of Hn for the root node. So I will tell you the value of Gn, or you can say that the value of G, n means here number of node. So this is our first node. So here the value of G is 0. And here value of h is 4. Now you can ask me this question, how you got these numbers? See, what is the meaning of GN? GN means depth of the node. Depth of the node means since it is the starting node, means it's the root node, here there is no depth. This is the first node. So remember one thing, for the first node or the root node, the G value will be 0 since there is no depth. Now pay attention to this. Why the value of H is 4? See, what is the meaning of Hn? The meaning of Hn is number of misplaced tiles. So try to understand. Number of misplaced tiles from what? So we are standing here, right? So this is our root node. In order to evaluate the value of h, what you have to find? You have to find out how many tiles are not in the position compared to the goal node. Means, see, the tile 2 is here, but in the goal node, this is not the position for tile 2. So basically, tile 2 is not in the position. Actually, I am comparing the root node with the goal node. So tile number 2, this tile is misplaced. So one tile is misplaced plus. See, check for 8. This 8, this is the position of 8 in the root node, but actually what we need in the goal node, we need the position of 8 here. So 8 is not in the position. So 8 is misplaced. Plus again, now check the position of 3. So the position of 3 is placed. It is not misplaced. So it is done. Now check the position of 1. The position of 1 is here, but we are expecting the position of 1 is here in the goal node. So it is misplaced. Then now check the position of 6. Again it is misplaced, right? But see 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, their positions remain as it is when we are comparing the position of the tile in the root node and the position of the tile in the goal node. So how many tiles are misplaced? 4 tiles. See here, that's why 8 is equal to 4. So Fn equal to Gn plus Hn. So in this case, F is equal to 0 plus 4, which is equal to 4. So in the root node, we have calculated this function. But according to our problem, we have to evaluate this function for each and every node. So similarly, I have to calculate this function for all these nodes. So let me check. So here how we can calculate this one. So here what is the value of g? So g means depth of the node. So initially for the root g value is 0. In this case g value is 1. So similarly I can say the g value will be 1 for each and every node in this level because they are at the same level, right? Now the most critical part. So what is the value of h over here? How we can find? We will compare each and every tile with the goal node. So let's check. This is the position of 2. But the position of 2 is here. So it is not matching, misplaced. Now, this is the position of 8 and this is the position of 8 in the goal node, misplaced. Position of 3 is correct. Position of 1 is incorrect. Again misplaced. Position of 6 is incorrect. Position of 4 is correct. Position of 7 is incorrect. And rest of the part, position of 5 is same. So what is the value of h? It is 5, right? So what is the value of f over here? 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. Now calculate the value of h for this node by comparing the tile position with the goal node. It is 3. So f value is 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now for this node, h is equal to 5. So f is equal to 6, right? So now you can ask me one question. Okay, ma'am, we have understood. You are evaluating each and every level of this search tree using this function. So this is the guiding function. But what is the necessity of this function? Now check. See, for each and every case, I have got the f value. Now I will explore only that branch which has minimum f value, and rest of the branches will be pruned. Means if I go by that branch, I will never reach to the goal. So here f value is 6, here f value is 4, and here f value is 6. So which path should I follow? So that's why this if function is important. So I will encounter, means I will further elaborate or extend this node, and I will prune this node. Prune this node means I will not extend this nodes further. Now again the question, so how many branches will be there if I extend this node? So branches means how many number of moves are possible. So here 4 moves are possible or 3 moves are possible. I have to check. So there is one confusion. So I will check. See, if I conceptually see this one, say I can move 8 from here to here, I can move 1 from here to here, I can move 4 from here to here, I can move 6 from here to here, right? So conceptually we have 4 moves. But if you try all this move, you will find one move is redundant. Redundant means if you follow that move, you will go back to the initial position, or you will go back to the bad move position. So that's why you have to remember one thing: branching does not imply that you will encounter each and every move. While branching, you have to be very careful. You have to only encounter the essential moves. For an example, say which moves should I encounter? So let me check. So I will do one thing. First, I will move this one. 2, 8, 3. I'm just moving 1. 1, 4, 7, 6, 5. Right? And for the second case, I'm just moving 8. 2, 3, 1, 8, 4. And then 7, 6, 5. And now for the third case, which one to move? For the third case, I prefer to move 4. 2, 8, 3, 1, 4, 7, 6, 5. And which move I am not considering? Moving 6, right? So if I follow that branching, then what will happen? I will go back to the initial step or any bad move step. So again, what is our responsibility? After creating the appropriate branches, after expanding the branches, I will calculate the value of G, H and F for each and every node. For the first case, 283. So what is the value of G? Depth is 2 for all the cases. Now here the value of H, number of misplaced tile in comparison with the goal node. 2 misplaced, 8 misplaced, 3 is not misplaced. So we have 3 node misplaced. So here the F value is 3 plus 2, that is 5. So for this case 3. So here the F value is also 5. And now for this case, what is the value of H? So value of F is, so now here there is another question. What is that question? Which path should I explore? See here F value is 6, here 5, here 5. So which path to explore? See, always we will take less F value in comparison to the other F value. Why? See, The decision will be made on the basis of f value. Lesser the f value, better it will be. So in that case, we have 5, 5 and 6, right? So this path will be pruned, right? But we have 5 value in both the cases. Means what? We have the probability of getting the goal node by both the nodes. So we can reach the goal nodes from both these nodes. So I cannot differentiate it. So if I have f value as 6, f value as 6 and f value as 3, it is easier for me to choose because here 3 is the lowest value and this path will be discarded. Anyhow, they are say they are having 6 but their highest value will be always pruned. But whenever we have this situation, f is 6, 5 and 5. So these two values are lower value. So both the nodes are competent enough to guide me towards the goal node. So I cannot leave any one of them. So in this case, you have to remember one point. If you have same f value and if both the values are the lower value than other nodes, you have to consider both because you have no other choice. If I am taking this 5 instead of taking this 5, means I'm considering the middle node instead of taking this node. So what is the justification? So there is no justification. So in that case, you have to remember one point. You have to take both the nodes, means you have to expand both the nodes because 5 is the minimum value in this level, right? That's why f is needed. So f is the guiding function by which I am exploring the search tree from root to the goal. So now, so I will explore this node as well as this node. So here for this node, two branches are possible and for this node, probably three branches are possible. But if I encounter any one of the branches there, that will revert me back to the initial position. So I'm just exploring the probable branches which are not redundant for this two node in case of expansion, and see how we can encounter this one. I can take this configuration. So I can move this 2 downwards. So I can write it as 8, 3, 2, 1, 4, 7, 6, 5. And what is the other move I can do? I can move this 7 upward in this position. So it will become 2, 8, 3, 7, 1, 4, 6, 5, right? So in this case, let me calculate the value of G, H and F. And for this case, G, H and F. So what is the value of G over here? So what is the value of H in this case for this node? The value of H is 3 and the F value is 6. Now for this case, what is the value of H? 4 and the F value is 3 plus 4, that is 7. So let me check goal is reached or not. No, goal is not reached. So for this node, what are the expansions are possible? So I can move 2 from here to here. So it will become 2, 3, 1, 8, 4, 7, 6, 5. And there is another chance that I can move 3 from here to here. So it will become 2, 3, 1, 8, 4, 7, 6, 5. So here for this node, the value of G will become 3 and H will be 2 and F is equal to 3 plus 2, it is 5. And for this node G is 3, H is equal to 4. So F is equal to 7. So which path to explore? This one. from this node, I'm just going to tell you what is the goal. So what I'm going to do, I'm just shifting 1 from here to here. So if I shift 1 from here to here, it will become 765. So in this case, what is the value of g? G is equal to 4. And what is the value of 8? See, here the configuration is not same as goal configuration, right? 8 is misplaced. This is the position of 8 and this is the position of 8 here. So value of 8 is 1, right? So f is equal to 5. Now if I expand this node further, then only I can reach to the goal node. 1, 2, 3. I will shift 8 here. 8, 6 and 7, 6, 5. So here g is equal to what? G is equal to 5, h is equal to 0. So this is the goal node, right? Now I will tell you the most difficult terms which are associated with it. See, in artificial intelligence, how many kinds of searching mechanisms are there? One is known as uninformed search and another one is known as informed search. So these are the first two terms that you have to remember. Now I will tell you what is the definition of uninformed search and informed search. Before going to this definition, I will use one term, that is search space. So what do you mean by search space? So whenever we are expanding any search tree like this, the entire space means the flow that will guide us towards goal node from the root node. This entire space is known as search space. Now, what is the definition of uninformed search? See, for uninformed search, whenever we are following this kind of uninformed search, it means we have no clue how to reach from starting node to the goal node. No clue means there is no specific formula or there is no specific function associated with it. Means I'm just giving you one idea you will be able to understand. So if you ask me this question, okay, do you have any example of uninformed search? Then it will be very easier for us to understand. So I can tell you one thing, uninformed search means no information is provided. It means what? Say, uninformed search means I am talking about DFS or BFS, depth first search or breadth first search, where we don't know how to proceed from the root node to the goal node. We only know the mechanism, means either we have to traverse depth wise or we have to traverse level wise. No additional formula is given. So this kind of situation is known as uninformed search. So whenever I'm talking about depth first search and breadth first search, so it's a classical example of uninformed search. But this uninformed search is also known as blind search. If you ask me this question, so what is the proper definition of this blind search? So I can say that there is no plan given to reach to the goal state from the starting state. So only thing given is the order. Means you have to follow either depth wise order or breadth wise order. So this order will be given. Now what do you mean by informed search? That we did right now. In order to reach from the root node to the goal node, a specific function or a specific information is given to us by which our entire search is guided by. right? From the root to the goal node. So this kind of search mechanism, we can say that it's an informed search. So clearly we can say that. So if I'm talking about A star search, then if I ask you this question, what kind of search it is? So definitely you will tell that, okay, it comes under informed search, because while solving 8 puzzle problem using A star search algorithm, we have used one function fn equal to gn plus hn. So some information is given to you additionally to reach the goal. So here you have to remember one point, that is, whenever we are talking about uninformed search, what is given to you? A graph will be given to you, a strategy. Strategy means describing the manner in which the graph will be traversed to get the goal node. The strategy will be given, the graph will be given, a fringe will be given. So what do you mean by fringe? So a fringe is a data structure. We know that in case of performing DFS or BFS, we have to either follow stack or we have to either follow queue. So the fringe or the data structure is known to us, right? And we have one solution plan. Solution plan means in which sequence we will proceed, right? So this points will be given to you. But in case of informed search, what is given to you? In case of informed search, whatever is given to you is known as a function. And this function is also known as heuristic function. So, whatever we have used fn equal to gn plus hn, the common name of this function is heuristic function. So, what is the definition of heuristic function? We can say that heuristic function, or we can say that heuristics is a function which is used in informed search, and it finds the most promising path. Because in 8 puzzle problem, why we have used this function? In order to find the most suitable path that will guide us from the root node to the goal node, right? So this is the applicability of the heuristic function. And one thing we can also conclude that A star search algorithm is an informed search algorithm that will use the heuristic function to guide the search mechanism from root to goal.